Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. That finish off this field right here, and don't know whether to start planting immediately or get this one up the top field. I think I'll get this one up to the top fields. So if we fold that one up there, and then he can head up to the top, ready. You over here, let's put that spout away. And then head over this way, like this. You're lined up. Right. Off you trot. I'll run you up and down there a few times. You don't have to do it a lot. We'll start travelling up to the top field, and then I've got another tractor there with another cultivator. That one's going to be ready to start in that field right there as soon as that combine is out of the way, and we can go and do something there. I think at the moment we will stick with the two. We won't sort of commit to upgrading our combine. Instead, we will, so long as we can get enough money in, we'll say that our target this time is to go and buy that field right there. But I need to be able to do that. Like, so only if I get enough money. Right, I want to go... Yeah, I'm going to just use the AI extension on there. Gonna let that one run on round. I'm just going to leave that. I'll let the AI extension just work round that field a couple of times, and we'll run on back this way. So let's go to you next. That one, that combine there is on 30%. I'm going to let it do... Probably, actually, it's only going to do one more pass. I want to catch it when it gets to the other end, and then send him scooting up across the field. I'll get the other tractor down here, and that one can start working around this field. And that means that we've got another one cultivated. And then once both of these fields have been cultivated, this one here and the one up the top, we'll then get one of the tractors started on planting while the other one is concentrating on still doing cultivating. And then once that's been done... bring you out this way, so I'll spin you round like that and stop right there. Okay, you have come out this side. That's perfect. That's what I wanted to catch, and then I can bring you up here. Yeah, once the one up the top is done, we can get a potato planter, and we can get started doing some potato planting. Potentially, we might also be ploughing up the field at the top, or potentially we might also be harvesting that field over there before we do anything else. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's go with you. Turn around here like this and start travelling down alongside the fields, alongside the combine down the field with this one. We should get most of the rest of this field into that combine. It shouldn't be much of a problem, I don't think. We get all of that loaded up into there, then we're doing all right with the corn. I mean, we had 50 grand from the last lot, and that wasn't even a full load. So, I mean, with the 42,000 litres, if we stuff this trailer, if we stuff both the trailers full, and well, I got a feeling that we're going to fill both trailers, and we're going to have a little bit more left over besides, which means that we're ultimately going to walk away from this little project with something in a region of, I would guess, 175,000 euros, which is easily enough to go and buy... Ooh, let's go to you. So I only wanted to do one pass on there, and then I want to go along this top end up here. Yeah, we've easily got enough to go and buy the long field up over there. We've actually also... We would also have enough to go... Well, not as well, but we would have enough to go and buy the field just the other side of those trees there, instead of the long one at the top end. And I'm wondering if we should do that rather than any other fields. Not quite sure yet. Just want to see this one along this bit right here, because It's right there where that little tiny bit of crop has been left behind. He was fine on that. There was no problems. Okay, well, I tell you, no, I was just thinking maybe we'll just let him carry on with what he's doing. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stop this one right here. Like that. I'm going to switch there. And I'm going to go to normal AI like that. I'm going to lower it down and then just press H and off he goes. So normal AI will now carry on and do that field there. We will rush down here to this one. He's heading back. That combine's heading back across the top. He's going to stop there. I'm actually okay with that one stopping. It's not really going to make much difference. And 2 passes along the field up there, and then that combine can just start working down that end over there. And this one over here will just start over on this side. And then they'll meet in the middle, as they often do. So that's another harvest done once this field here is finished, which is not taking us very long. I want to go and see what the state of the potatoes are in that field up the top. Are they actually ready for harvesting yet or not? Back up a bit. There we go. Right. So what is the state of these potatoes up here? They are ready to remove top. So that's actually ready to harvest right now. So if we were to buy that field, then we need to harvest that one and immediately sell the potatoes. And then we've got to wait and grow another lot. And then we've got to sell another lot. So that means that I've got to... Yeah, I've got extra expense there. Alright, I've got to go and lease the machine already, which is this one. And we'll leave it on the 435 horsepower. We'll leave it on the standard work speed, because that's already massively increased. It's on John Deere colour at the moment. Could just go with a navy one, like that. Purple? Bright purple potato plant? Yeah, I really don't know what colour I should go for. I can't ask all of you, because by the time I get the answer, this will all be longer. I'm going to go with an orange potato planter. And then the design can stay in green. The rim colour here, let's do that in black, like that. There we go, look at that. Okay, that actually, I quite like the look of that. That looks pretty good. It's not like too overboard, but I think it also looks good. The capacity, we definitely want to be increasing that, so that goes there. We've got a 60,000 litre onboard capacity. It does 20k across the field. The total price that we're going to need is 24,000 euros to be able to do that. The engine setup right there, 24,360. Wait, what? Oh, it goes even higher. 24,622 for the maximum size engine. It's barely 1,000 more than the initial one. I'm kind of thinking that we should have the maximum size engine, because we've got the maximum increased capacity. So, you know, it's an extra expense on it a little bit. But that's basically 25 grand. And then after that, we got 5,000 euros per day while we've got it leased. And we'd have to keep it leased. We'd have to keep it on hold for a bit, just until we reach the point where we no longer need the harvester, which means that we're going to have to keep it around for a few days to pay for it, and be paying for it. On top of that, we also need the ability to take the potatoes somewhere to sell them, which is yet another expense. You are doing just fine in there. You over here, you may be full, but you are able to go and move. So let's run this one over here, and we'll empty it straight into the trailer, and then we'll start it working down this side of the field. I'm liking the idea of buying this field, but we've got to remember we need a 25,000 euro reserve to be able to get that harvester, and then on top of that, we're going to need to be able to shift the potatoes out of the field. And we're going to need 2 potato planters. So what we'll do first, before we do anything else, we go into potato technology in here. We've got no additional planters here that we can do anything with. We've got the Grim DLC. Now, not the Grim DLC. I haven't got the Grim DLC activated on this series. I wasn't planning on it either because it's all just small machinery and it's not really suitable for what I want from this series. So that one right there, I'm going to lease that one, and I'm going to go with the our normal increase in speed. We're just going to have that one on full speed on there. It's got a 9,000 litre capacity. It takes fertilizer and seed in there, and we're going to lease that one. So we'll lease that. That's 5,000. Okay, and I'm going to lease another one, which is another 5,000, like that. And then we'll come out of that. So I've got those two leased and ready to start planting. And then we're also going to need a truck and a trailer in order to start moving things. And I was going to start using the Frithgard truck and trailers. So it means I need to, well, I was going to be leasing those to start with, the ones that I showed you, well, a few episodes ago now, but I did show you. Let's drop you in there, and off you go. Helper G has got a full grain tank. Let's go and get Helper. I tell you what, before I go and get Helper G sorted out, let's get you sorted out and move. So we want to unhitch that one, and I want to get this cultivator on here. I got 2 potato planters there ready to go, which we will need for our planting, but we still also have the harvest. So I've got 25,000 euros that I'm going to need for the potato harvester. I'm also going to need a truck and trailer in order to be able to sell our potatoes as well. Right, I'm going to put that as hired help, like that. I'll lower you in there, like that. And then I'm going to set you off using the hired help around the outside of that field once, like that. Okay, now we go back to you. We'll go and take a bit off of this trailer over here. I think that we are going to end up with a full trailer, and we're going to be able to sell that. But I don't think we're going to end up with enough money to be able to not only buy the field up there, but also lease the harvester and the truck that we're going to need in order to be able to make everything move. I'm just going to leave you here a second. Let that one run up and then back down again. We may be in the wrong place here. And then once we've emptied this one out, we can have a look at the cost, the leasing cost of a truck and trailer that we're going to need to be able to harvest that field at the top. And this is a bit that I'm sort of wondering about. That's going to be like the crucial bit. I mean, it does depend on how much grain we get, but so far that seems promising. So far, that's the one aspect of all this that seems reasonably promising. Seems like we may actually be able to get away with. It's the it's whether or not we can afford the truck as well, and that's gonna be fairly expensive, I think. If we've got the money for it, we will go and buy the new field. If we don't have the money for it, we'll basically just hold the money and wait before we go buying any new field, and we will just do potatoes on the 4 fields that we currently have, plus the little tiny field. But the little tiny field isn't big enough to count as far as our solar panel count goes, so because that's going to be going back to standard yard at some point. I don't know when, just some point. That's all we'll leave it at, is some point. Okay, you down there, so I'm just going to... No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I want to jump in here a minute, and I want to go to trucks right in here, and... Where is... Oh, the Frith cab. That one, right there. 115,000. So, I've got main color, color bumper, cap config is stock, black bonnet, detail... The Frith Ginger right there. Color guards, chrome, open. We'll just leave that. We don't want GPS. Wheel setup is standard or spider rims. I don't know what spider rims are, but I kind of like the look of them. Main color. Wait, where's the... What are we even coloring on this thing? Oh, it's the little bit on there. Yeah, there's some little bits of design on there. Design color red. So basically it stays in white. So that's 6,000 euros for that one, which isn't too bad actually. I thought it was going to be more than that. 6,000 euros there, and then I've also got the trailers that all come with it, and it was chassis end tipper over axle tipper. Over axle tipper, end tipper. I don't know which one I'm supposed to get. Look at that one. This is the over axle tipper. I don't know what over axle means. Is that the one that, like, just pushes right up into the air, the whole thing? Wheels and all? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's 3,700, and then you got the end tipper. So what's the difference between an end tipper and an over axle tipper? We'll just have to try. So I'll try. I don't know. But anyway, we're looking at about another 10 grand for the truck and trailer, which I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. So we've done pretty well on that. That tractor has stopped because the combine has stopped right there. I'm going to just skip over to that one a minute. That combine is doing fine, and that one's doing fine as well. I'm going to go to you, and I'm going to take that off there. Switch that onto normal. Just there. And I'm going to back up, just shunt in a little tiny bit, just in case. And drop it down there. Right, off you go. Normal hired help, we'll just carry on with that. It'll ignore that combine. And we can go back here, and we can unload that combine exactly the same way as we did the last one. Take a bit off of here, like this. And then, as soon as it gets to 80% full, we can just pull out alongside the crop, like that. And the combine will turn round, and then we can follow it down the field and unload it as we go. The other combine is already on 77%. So that one's going to need to be emptied out in a minute as well. Which means that we should have just about a full trailer by the time we've got both of these combines emptied out. And then we can go off and sell this. Get a rough idea of what we're going to end up with. So 25,000 will be needed for a potato harvester. And then 10,000 will be needed for leasing truck and trailer in order to sell said potatoes to wherever they can be sold, and they will be sold straight off the field. That's the plan. We will sell straight off the fields to whoever is currently selling at the highest price. So we will get some money back. Getting the money back isn't going to be any kind of a problem. It's just whether or not we've got the money to make that initial jump. So I need 26,000 plus another 10. I'm going to need 36,000 on top of the 150 that it's going to cost to buy the field. So we're looking at 190,000 euros. If we cannot make 190,000 euros, then we cannot afford to go and buy that field right now. Well, actually, we can afford to buy the field, but we'll just have to cultivate in the existing crop of potatoes. We won't be able to do anything else with it. We won't have any choice. We'll just have to cultivate the potatoes in and then plant them all over again. And I don't really want to have to do that. That's not really part of the master plan. But, I mean, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. We can work through this. Filled up the back trailer completely from that combine, and now we'll run along here and grab what we can for the front trailer, and then that's going to be a full load to go and sell. I mean, we're getting, what's it, 1,400 euros per 1,000 litres off of this, so we've got our 42,000. It's going to be 55,000, I should think, for selling this, maybe a bit more than that. 56, 57,000 even. It's going to be a lot. Let's just leave it at that. There's going to be lots and lots of money coming in. I've got... no, I'm not going to actually reach a full trailer load on here. I might just go and grab the last couple of 100 litres off of the other combine over there. Purely because I can. And I kind of want to just do this with one completely full load to get a rough idea of what we've been getting from this. So we'll go on, we'll whiz on up through here, and then we'll take it on up that steep road up that side. Straight over to the grain mill. Dump it out. If I can get down there before that combine starts turning around the corner, and the problem is, not only does he start turning around the corner, he's... Right, you know what? Forget that. Forget that. We're not getting a full trailer load. I don't want to be turning round. I want to just sort of keep a little bit of momentum going as I go up the hill. Not that it's really counted for much. But no, we'd have to chase that combine round to go and get that. And it's not really, it doesn't really seem worth it. Go on, you can do it. You can see the wheels slipping. It's definitely not quite, he hasn't quite got enough weight on board. Well, not on board. He's definitely got enough weight on board. He hasn't quite got enough weight on the tractor to haul that up the hill. Those wheels were slipping a lot there on the steeper ground. Now we're getting up here onto the more level part of the slope. He's doing just fine. He's got no issues with it. But yeah, definitely on that first bit, he was struggling. Alpha J is a nearly full grain tank. If you'd stopped at the end of the row just long enough for me to take a bit off of you, that would have been a bit better, wouldn't it? But no, you knew better. You had to keep going. We're back to slipping again. Look at that. This is brilliant. As you realise it slipped like that, it does look very cool as we try to sort of chug our way ever so slightly up. Very slow there. Oh, this is a long, drawn-out bit. Yeah. Right, well, once we get up here, we can get... well, we're on 1,400. I said about 55,000. We need to hit roughly 190,000 to actually make it worthwhile for us to go and buy that field and harvest it. Otherwise, we're just buying the field and we'd end up cultivating back in the potatoes that are on it right now. And I'm not sure that I really like... I mean, it's not like we're losing out on money. And it would still depend on how much else we've got, because we still need to be able to afford to lease the harvester once we've done all of our planting. And you've got to remember that we need to be able to get those leases done and in place before we go doing anything else. Because if we wait until afterwards, the planting is going to cost us a whole load of money. So we definitely won't be able to afford it. Now, I know that I'll only be leasing one harvester, and ideally I would actually like to have 2 harvesters. 2 harvesters would be a lot better, but I think we could do 1, and then with selling the potatoes that we get from the field, that would then give us enough money come in order to cover the cost of leasing a second harvester at the beginning of the big potato harvest that will cover all of the field. So that was 58,500 euros. I need another 30,000 to fully cover our costs. Maybe we can get by with another 25,000. So very much a wait and see game on this at the moment. Very much a wait and see game on this. Maybe we could buy, like, if I was to go and buy the field and I couldn't afford to harvest it this time round. Well, 25,000. I'm actually not far off of that. Like, how could we do that? If I was to buy the field, and then we plough it up, we plant it, we do all the planting right the way across the field, and then we harvest it next time round. I know I could just leave the potatoes right there. We don't have withering or anything on, so the potatoes could literally just sit in the field and wait for everything else to become ripe all the way round it. But honestly, that feels a little bit more like cheating. I feel that I would need to, in order to sort of keep with the spirit of what I'm doing with things here at the moment, I would need to plant, and we should have put fertilizer down on these fields before we went rushing off with doing the cultivating, shouldn't we? Oh well, we'll have to do that afterwards. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that... Yeah, I just don't like the idea of leaving the potatoes. It sort of feels like it's against the spirit of what I'm trying to do. So it would have to be either we have the potatoes and we harvest them, or we cultivate them back in. We like buying the field and then leaving it for a full growing season before harvesting them. That kind of goes against the spirit of things a bit, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to draw the line at doing that. There's a lot of things that I do, but that one I am drawing the line at. It feels a little bit too cheaty and unrealistic, despite the fact that I am harvesting stuff at like 15-20 kilometers an hour. We can ignore that bit. That's just like a speed thing, but refusing to harvest just because we can't be bothered and we want to wait for the rest of the stuff to catch up, that definitely feels a lot more like cheating. Now, the one at the top, cultivator up there, is done. I could, in theory, go and grab a potato planter and start planting right now. But I'm not going to, because I want to see how much money I can get to see if we end up with enough to be able to actually seriously consider buying this potato field at the top and then getting that first harvest off of it. As soon as we've bought the field, if we commit to it, then we lease the machinery that we want to lease, and we need to lease everything, and then that's it. We've got the leases done, we've got the leases in place, we've got everything that we want to have, and then we can immediately start planting after that. And it doesn't matter then if we go into negative money because we've already got everything. So long as we can get some seed, some fertilizer into both of the potato planters, we're away. We've got it sorted then, and it doesn't matter. I know that we can take out a bit of loan, but I want to do this without taking out the loan. And some of you are already saying that it's high time I paid back that extra bit of loan, because I did say that I didn't want to have that extra loan. I have specifically stated that I don't want that extra loan, so really I should be aiming to try and pay that loan off if I really don't want it that badly. So I'm gonna work on that. Just wait for that one to come up here a minute and chase you back down across over here. We got a little bit ahead of me, but that's fine. So he's on 80% right there, and what I'm going to do, because there's not really a lot else I can do just for a minute. I've got a cultivator up the top. I suppose we could go and grab that one and bring it down, but really we just want to wait for this field to be harvested so that we can make a decision on what else we're going to do, whether we are actually going to go with a full harvest, or whether we're, with starting to harvest, or whether we're going to leave that off and we're just going to crack right on with planting the fields that we've got. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let both combines run until they're full, and then we'll empty them out. Both combines are there ready to roll, so I'm going to whiz over under this one and we'll take that. Well, unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. And for those of you wondering, the paid promotion notification that came up at the beginning of the video is because in the description down below you will find a link to Fanatical. I have an affiliation with them. If you use that link, I will earn a small commission on anything that you choose to purchase. But that is all we have got time for, so if you have enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.